It's nice weather, sunshine, it looks like we're all relaxed, we're like here millionaires, but I slept in the last days like 5-6 hours, and I went to sleep last night at 2 a.m. or a bit later, and I had to wake up at 8 a.m. to be here with Olav and record these videos.
So you're saying that you have to do work in Spain as well, or what? So you're working? Or
oh yes, of course. What do you think?
Welcome to the next video of Final Peace Talk. In this video I have the privilege from Augustas to say the introduction. In this video we're going to talk about the struggles what people are facing when they're thinking about or have started an online business. And we're going to talk about the struggles what I faced when I started out, what Augustas faced when he started out, and what have some other people faced when they started out. So Augustas, let us know what were some of the struggles that you faced when you first started out. When was that?
So let's say when I was a website developer, a freelance programmer, I would not call it as an online business. I worked a lot maybe, but it was like kind of one-way work. You know, you get a client, you program some hours, you are paid by these hours, and that's it. I couldn't really scale properly because I didn't take a decision to build up a team. But my real online business, or most interesting business, was when almost 3 years ago I started to think about creating virtual summits for Amazon sellers. So of course at that time I was still programming, and I had this idea to create a virtual summit, and basically I had to overcome my problem of being non-native English speaker. And also I always I dreamed to create videos, and this time I had to kind of put my videos in front of people, and plus I had to interview other people.
This is one of the challenges that you have to face when you live in Spain or somewhere where the sun is shining all year round. It's just shining straight into your eyes, but it's okay.
It's not really a struggle of a business owner. So yeah, basically my struggle was to kind of put myself and to to be strong, that I will manage to break through all these let's say problems I had in my mind, just because I thought I'm from Lithuania and my native language is not English, and it will be difficult to do anything in English market. But it worked out. But of course now I work maybe even more than when I did just freelance programming. I believe that I will have to work like this maybe for a few years, but then it will build kind of a maybe passive income stream, which, as you see, happens in the long term, not in a short term, which we talked in the previous videos. So, and what were your struggles when you started?
My struggles when I started my first online business, I invested everything to that business. At that time, probably about 2,000, 3,000 euros, and I bought inventory for it. And I had to build my own website. I had to do the marketing, like the checkout process and everything. Like, at that time there weren't any Shopify, or I didn't know about Amazon FBA, and I don't even know if 7-8 years ago you could sell your products on Amazon, so I didn't know anything about it. So my struggles were just about making it work, making it happen. And it's really interesting when you're starting out, because you have to do a lot of research, what seems like work, you know, and you would have to write newsletters, you can list your products on your website, so you feel all the time that you're working. But you can't only do the work, you would have to make money as well, because otherwise you just can't continue to work, because you need money to buy food, pay for rent and stuff like that. And then I discovered really fast that the inventory what I bought, it didn't sell through for my first month, or even like for the second month. So after the second or third month I was already in debt, and I was taking loans to survive. Mm-hmm. So that's where the snowball started to grow. But eventually, like in years, you will find out things what are working for you and what are not working. And looks like humans have this humans need to learn important things the hard way. So you would have to make the mistakes, and you would have to recover from these mistakes to make it better the next time. And this is exactly what happened to me.
Another thing which I see a bit different when you do entrepreneurship and you have a family and you don't have a family. For example, Olav, you have just a partner.
Yes.
I have a 6-year-old kid. I always think that there is a difference in running online business and being entrepreneur when you have a family with a kid, especially, and when you have just a partner or just a wife.
Or even when you're single, it's easy. Like you can go traveling to whatever, you can sleep in the bush if you want, somewhere in Thailand or in the house.
But let's say if you live with another adult who is also having his own her own goals and own projects. So basically, maybe you can wake up in the morning and work on your stuff. She's working on her stuff. But in my family, we also have a kid which wants to work with us. So and sometimes, of course, we do some funny videos with my child, but. Yeah, kind of. I have to also take care of my family in some way to dedicate more time, and I really find it very difficult.
So you need to plan your time better when you have a family. So you can't just it just can't be like a digital nomad dream or goal. You would have to make the money and be productive, because you can't waste any time, because you want to spend that time with your family or people who are close to you. So you would have to be really productive.
Do you have any suggestions for starting out people, how to maybe already now to think about planning the time? Because I also see that it's a problem for me. I'm quite bad in planning, or when I try to plan, I end up like not following this plan.
Some people say that money is not important and you should do what you love. For example, some people like writing a book, or some people might like doing yoga, or writing a blog, or doing a YouTube videos, or anything like that. But you need money for money to live as well. And from my perspective and my view of things is that first focus on the money. And even if you do that for 1 or 2 years, if you can fix that, then you can do whatever you want. You can do your yoga, you can write your book, you can do whatever you want. Just fix the money thing. Like when you're building a business, do something where you can sell something and you can get money in exchange. So it's easier to do it. For example, selling on Amazon, opening your own e-commerce shop, or even doing freelancing where you're selling your services. Because when you close the deal, you get the money. But when you write the blog post, you're not getting money. But when you're starting out, it just takes so much time and effort what you have to put in there. So whatever is your passion, what's not making you money, do it as a side business or your side thing. So first, focus on the money so you can eliminate the stress what will come with that. Because it will not take you 1 or 2 months to make your business successful and to make money. It will probably take 6 months. No, I mean 6 months is a really good goal. If you can make your business work in 6 months, then you're like one person from 100 people. Usually it takes a lot more and a lot of time and effort than people can imagine to make something work.
So do you mean that when you think of online business idea, first make sure that you have like financial support? Maybe it's not from what you want to do in online business. Like for example, a lot of, I think, business coaches which are talking on YouTube, they say if you are broke, don't start business. First go and maybe get a regular job, like get a kind of financial basis, and then in the evenings start your business. Do you mean like this?
You could do that as well. You could do that. I didn't do it, but if I would give someone advice, I would recommend to do it, because it's not for everybody. I've given my advice to some people: just go all in, take your money, and roll the dice to see if you can get it. And I've seen most people, they didn't get it. So my recommendation is not to roll the dice. Make sure you have the finances, because you might only, it takes time to make it work. And some people have rolled the dice and they got it. So it's all about some other things what you need to do as well to make it work. You need to have the right mindset. You need to have the right attitude, and to make it work. It's not about just starting something. This is online business what I started 2 months ago, and this is making me like $3,000 a month. Like when you are a beginner and you're starting out, there's 99% chance that this is not going to happen for you. It's going to take time, and everyone has their own journey to make it work. So my recommendation is to have income from somewhere else. You could do whatever you want, like for example, selling something, customer support, freelancer, whatever it is.
Actually, if you want to start Amazon business and you still don't have money and even don't have knowledge, I've heard stories where people successfully presented themselves as a, let's say, Amazon account manager. So at the beginning you could offer like even free service to work for free for a big Amazon seller and help to learn some basics how to manage the Amazon account, and then later you transition to a paid freelancer where you help managing Amazon account, and you get this experience, you get paid afterwards, and then you can apply this money and your experience into your own business.
FBA business, and you can start your own Amazon FBA business.
Yeah.
Exactly, and you could do that basically remotely, living wherever you want to live, and it would be actually a really good side business what to do.
I think about this, a lot of people for them it might be important that there is a financial, like they need to know how they can finance their upcoming online business, because this is, I think, how our maybe school system is training us, that there is you learn here, then you get a job, and basically they show you in every step that there will be a safe spot. Just finish this step, like finish this education, then finish this job, you will get a better position. Of course, all this doesn't happen, but we are trained, I think, or mainstream, most of the people are trained.
That is like when you work for something and you learn something, then there's a safe spot. But the real thing is when you learn something, how to build something, and you do it, and when you get there, then you get punched in the face.
So you have to kind of maybe think of worst case scenario, how you will do if you get broke, and if you want to escalate your success, you have to take risks, which I had to learn to do like in the last years, basically.
Yeah, it's really important. What I recommend you to do when you're starting out, like if you have an idea about starting a business, is just read some business books, but don't read like the general business books, like how to start a business and stuff like that. Read the stories about people, how they have started a business. Then you can see right away that these people were really struggling for years to make it work. Because like nowadays we have this image that it's going to be easy and it's going to work out and everything is going to be smooth. So most of the billion-dollar companies, even what exists today, Nike, Under Armour, they were all struggling a lot for years until they had their breakthrough.
And even now I know different Amazon sellers. So I know Amazon sellers, or I met Amazon sellers which are doing 7 figures in revenue per year, and they look like very relaxed, everything is cool. They are like 2-people team. Now they want to grow and they will employ more staff. But I also know the same 7-figure seller, the same size seller, who is like, he has some kind of team, but he's like very stressed, and he works a lot every day, and he's very stressed about that Amazon will shut him down. It's also a lot of about this mindset, and as Olav said, I think it's very useful to read these real business stories
about people who have really started a business,
to gain this inspiration, not to be afraid, and to not to be afraid to take risks, and to know that you will need to fail. And a lot of times when successful businessmen are talking, they're talking about you have to fail to succeed. It's like,
of course, that's how it works. I met people in Thailand who basically wanted to start an online business, and they didn't have an idea what exactly they want to do. So they moved to Thailand before knowing what they want to do, and they moved to Thailand and they met people who were running successful businesses. They were running digital marketing, doing e-commerce, and those people started learning from these people. And I've met people who just went there, learned from these people, and they made it work. And now probably they're making about a few $1,000s a month. and they're still living in Thailand, and it's been a few years since I met them, so it works. But of course, these people have had their own struggles while like they've lived somewhere in Thailand or anywhere else. But here's the key: if you really want to make it work, like for some people, just move to the country where you want to live and find a way to make it work.
So,
and it worked.
So basically, this is like taking action. Like, don't dream like when I will have business, I will move there, but
Move
do it
before
yeah.
and then create a business. But this is going exactly opposite what we just talked about. You know, having a job and
it's taking risk. You know.
But you could have doing freelancing or customer support while moving to Thailand, because we have met even people here in Spain who are doing customer support, digital marketing, and they're living in Spain and they're thinking about starting an e-commerce business, selling on Amazon, for example.
Another thing which you mentioned or you touched is like connecting to other people. So it's very important. Like, we are connected with Olav and we share sometimes some ideas we have in our businesses. And when you start, especially the online business, or want to start, you have these struggles and these doubts. So it's go to some kind of maybe meetups organized by your nearest co-working space, or some kind of meetups where other entrepreneurs come. Search on meetup.com website. There are a lot of meetups, local meetups of different businesses, different niches. So I'm sure it would help you to connect to other people and get inspired and to hear their stories, and maybe even get support, moral or even practical support from other people.
Yes, of course, and especially when you're starting out. When you're already making money, you can pay for rent, you can buy food, and you can buy clothes. Then it's easier. But when you're starting out, you kind of need that emotional support because it can be really stressful when you're starting out. And it's just, everybody goes through it, just most people don't talk about it. Everybody goes through it. And it's, especially if you're a company with one person, you're not sharing anything with anybody, like you don't have a business partner with who you can discuss, so everything is in your head. So you're going to do a lot of thinking, it's going to be a lot of overwhelming, and you're going to struggle. But when you have people with who you can share your stories, your business troubles, then it's easier to solve these issues.
Of course, maybe after long term, after many years, when you put a lot of work, these struggles will minimize and new struggles will arise. But I think you will manage to systemize, or you will manage to be immune to these kind of challenges.
Yes, of course. For example, some of the issues what I faced years ago, like even now when I get now these issues seem like nothing to me. It was just like, what was that? It was nothing. You know, but years ago, when something happened, someone sent me an email or anything, I was like, oh my God, what's going on? I was so stressed, thinking about it all the time. But now it's like, what was that? Because in years, when you do it for longer period of time, you will get stronger, in your mind, like everywhere. You're just like, it's just one of those, what's trying to knock you out, but you're just standing there and saying, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and about meeting other people, I mentioned going to physical in-person events and meetups, but of course it's not for everyone. Some people don't want to travel, or they live remotely maybe, or some people are introverts. So you can always go to your niched Facebook groups and search there and
start talking about it.
Yeah, but you need to start talking. A lot of people on Facebook groups, they are just reading like me. But I saw that if you start posting, giving some value, and then maybe just posting that I want to create a online mastermind with 3-4 other like-minded people, and I'm sure you will get interest. And also talking about struggles, now it's like it's nice weather, sunshine, it looks like we're all relaxed, we're like here millionaires, but I slept in the last days like 5-6 hours, and I went to sleep last night at 2 a.m. or a bit later, and I had to wake up at 8 a.m. to be here with Olav and record these videos. So
you're working a lot, or what you're saying?
Yes, I have a struggle of being tired all the time, kind of. Of course, I have also struggle of not being able to plan perfectly my day, maybe not to be productive, not to be able to focus because I have, let's say, family. I have sometimes maybe to go shopping. I want to, let's say, meet here Olav, so it takes us maybe in total 5 hours this project to meet here, right? Because so it's half a day is gone, and then I come back and there are maybe family demands, and
so it's a real story. So basically, you're saying that so you're saying that you have to do work in Spain as well, or what? So you're working? Or
oh yes, of course. What do you think?
So you're saying, I mean, okay, I didn't know that, because I thought like you're running an online business.
Yeah, it runs by itself.
And it runs.
Yeah.
No?
How is your day looking?
I mean, it's the same for me. I am working as well, but mostly my income is pretty much automated. People are still shopping online while we are sitting here, but they still have to do the work to make it grow even more. So these are the other types of challenges when you face when you finally make the money and you want to grow it even more. But I didn't go to sleep at 2 a.m. I went to bed about 11-12 o'clock. So yeah, but I'm still working, and I'm trying to be productive. I say no to really a lot of things, and I say yes to only a few things because
thank you.
I say yes to you. So because I think it's really the key to whatever you want to achieve, especially when you're starting out. When you have the time and money to do a little bit like to do something else as well, it's easier for you to do it, because you don't, like when you go somewhere else, you're not losing money, So it's really important that you know what you're doing and you're doing the right things.
Okay, so to summarize, when you want to start online business, be prepared for struggles, for challenges, for a lot of work, let's say, and
look for like-minded people around you online, or you can meet them in person as well.
Don't be afraid to risk, and this risk you can learn probably from other people you meet, because they will inspire you by hearing their stories.
And when you start out, then it's probably going to take you longer than you expect. But for example, if you want to make it work in 6 months and 6 months has passed, then just say yourself like it didn't happen yet, but it's going to happen because we told you that.
Yeah, and actually what you touch now, it's I think what people talk about compound effect.
Yeah.
It's before we finish the video, I just remembered another story of a guy I talked about 1 month ago, entrepreneur. He has a SaaS company, software service company, and he said now they are 8 years in the business, and only now it's starting to go like this, their business, like growing exponentially. And the first like 4 or 5 or 6 years, they were like, looking for ways how to make it grow fast. And just now they discovered some formula. So they learned.
Compound effect,
yeah.
Exactly.
And if they would have stopped at 4 years, they would have like bankrupted business, and they would have to like now be in another business at 4 years. But now they have 8 years in the business, and now they are like finally growing.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
When you're building a business, then time is your biggest friend.
And patience, I guess.
And patience.
All right. Thank you, Olav. It was a pleasure.
You're welcome.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments, ideas, feedback, suggestions, please comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel of Orange Klik. And if you want to learn more about my work and Olav's work, please check the links below this video, and see you in the next episode.